Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Shameless in Chicago. This is your host, Nin.
And I'm Luke.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about being de-influenced.
Now, what do you mean by de-influenced, Nin?
Okay, so you know like the culture of all of the influencers. They're literally called influencers because corporate America has paid them to sell you a product, to influence you, quote unquote influence you, to buy their product. And so, of course, influencers are going to be like, oh, hell yeah, because they're getting paid like 5, 10, 15 grand, sometimes even 20 grand to promote a product depending on the amount of followers they have.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. And I think we've seen some pretty good examples on these UGC creators because now they're actively looking out for like some of the smaller people to work in these tiny little ads to get onto your For You page. Mm-hmm. And I see them all the time.
Dude, once you know about UGC, it's like you can't unsee it anymore.
No. And it's all it really is going through your TikTok For You page. And there's a little orange bar that like has a direct link to the TikTok shop.
Literally.
None of this stuff is here for your entertainment. This is all here for you to consume. And I think it's wild. I think it's really guerrilla, but I think it's one of the smartest things that any company's ever done because you could literally just do one wrong swipe and you're on someone's page or you're on the TikTok shop and you are a few taps away from making a huge mistake.
And UGC, for those of you that don't know, is user-generated content. So this is the content that you will see on your For You page or as an advertisement where it looks like a regular old person is creating this TikTok. And you're like, oh, wait, they're actually using it in their real life. But really, they're getting paid by this company to create this product. And essentially, it's supposed to be like organic marketing in a way because you're not being quote unquote influence, you're seeing like a normal person, a regular person like you using this product.
And they're probably the people you could be following even on your regular day to day. Your influencers that you follow are pumping out ads and you could hardly even know it.
As soon as they are promoting a product, they have to write paid partnership. So if you notice when you're scrolling on TikTok, it'll say paid partnership. Like they have to now disclose that they are getting paid to partner up with these brands. So when a TikToker is saying like, hey, I actually really like this product and I'm not getting paid for it, you can believe them if it doesn't say paid partnership. If they're like, I'm not getting paid to do this, but it says paid partnership, then they're literally lying through their teeth.
Yeah, and that's probably because all of you who do it couldn't act right and we were flooded with UGCs. Do you remember how often you could scroll across the overnight oats? I feel like I would see 30 overnight oat ads on my TikTok page once it came out. And I just like, oh, people are getting ready for work. Get ready for me. Oh, it's an overnight oats ad.
Yep.
Again.
Yep. 3 things that we will be discussing today is 1, something you will never be influenced to buy. You're like, absolutely not. This is ridiculous. I will not be buying it. 2, something you have been influenced to buy and you actually really love it. And 3, something you've been influenced to buy and you actually hate it. You're like, why did I even do that to myself? So we're gonna get right into it. So first thing that I can think of as, you know, a girly on the TikTok or even on the YouTube is the Dyson Airwrap, guys and girls. The Dyson Airwrap is literally everywhere. It is a $600 piece of hair tool and equipment that literally like uses air so it's less damage and all of that. And I went to go try it out.
Like, did you buy it and try it out?
No. So I went to a store and they had it on display and they're like, hey, like you can use it and try it out. And I was like, okay, bet, like, let me try this out. First of all, the hair tool is the size of my forearm. It is so damn bulky and long. No, literally. Yes. Look at your forearm and that's how big the Dyson Airwrap is. So there's that, first of all. And then you have all of these clunky attachments that like come along with it. And then you try it and then you're like holding it. And then the like half the time is spent trying to grip your hair to it. And it's like, come on, like, can you grip it already? Like, let's turn. And then you're just holding it and then you have to turn it off and then pull it out. And then you see like you have this little curl. And then I know with practice, people are able to be good at it. I feel like if you're not a licensed hairstylist, it's really difficult. You have to watch a ton of videos. But that is one thing I cannot be influenced to buy. I was almost influenced to buy it because I see how nicely people do their hair. But the pure length of it, how big it is, I can't do it. Like, no, thank you.
I think I have a pretty embarrassing, influential buy that blew up in my face.
What's up?
When I was a youngin', I think I was 18, 19. I was studying real estate school.
We know.
I was delusional.
Yep.
I had a lot of delulu. So I had this like epiphany after watching so many videos for drone footage.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there was a time where drone footage kind of blew up and everyone was like, oh, look at my cool drone.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this will come in handy when I have my license. I can check out the roofs and everything. Like, I'm a home inspector. Like, that'd be my fucking job.
Yeah.
You're dumb, Luke.
Yeah, like he's like a real estate photographer. Mm-hmm.
You're wrong. So I walked myself over to a counter at a very nice electronics store.
Yep. Hashtag never forget, because I was literally there.
I pulled out my store-specific credit card.
Yeah, and how much was this drone?
I think it had to have been at least $550.
Yeah, it was like $500.
I think it might have been $600 after tax.
After taxes, yeah.
Oh my gosh! So I probably spent $600 on this drone.
Mm-hmm.
I did get it to fly once in my living room, and it hit me in the face.
Yep, I was there for that too.
So that was really fun. Every time we took it out to the park, it really worked. It was a really fancy one. It was one of those DJI Spark drones, but every time I tried to load up the app, it was like my phone could not connect to it because it knew I did not have a pilot's license.
Yeah.
And it was probably the most useless purchase I ever made. I actually ended up selling it for $100.
Wow.
I sold it for 1/6 of the price that I bought it for because
Wow.
I literally had zero use for it, and I held on to it for years.
Yeah.
And I did not even try to learn how to fly it. It was a waste of money. It was a waste of time.
Yep.
If you're not a pilot, if you're not a specialty, filmographer, if you're not a drone pilot, don't buy a drone. It's not for you. That's why they're so expensive.
And who told you not to buy it?
I don't recall.
Me. It was me. He was standing looking at it, and he was going to buy it. It was $500. He was like, I'll put it on the credit card. It's okay.
I got the blue one.
And I literally was like, don't buy it. Luke, literally do not buy it. You're never going to use this. And he's like, no, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to use it. Anyways.
I really wanted the blue one.
He got into credit card debt.
I got the blue one.
Yeah. So here we are.
But it was a good wake up call because, I looked at that and I said, man, that was the worst use of the money I've ever spent, ever earned. I can't even imagine doing that right now. I can't imagine going up to that store and be like, yeah, please give me this $550 to $600 paperweight that's going to just fall out of a window if I ever try to throw it.
Yeah, very true. Very
useless.
Very true. No,
useless. I'm looking back at you, Luke.
One thing that I was influenced to buy and that I regretted it after I bought it was the Stanley Cup. Yes. As you guys can see, if you are watching this video version of the podcast, I no longer use my Stanley Cup anymore. And that's for a couple of reasons. First of all, when I bought the cup, I loved that it fit in my cup holder because as opposed to my Hydro Flask never fit in my cup holder. And it was so annoying that it did not. And that's still Hydro Flask's biggest flaw is that it does not fit inside of your cup holder. So the Stanley Cup fits in your cup holder, right? And it has a handle. You can carry it around. Great. Love it. However, I quickly realized that when I was going to pick stuff up and I had the Stanley Cup with me, it leaked. It literally leaks. The water falls out. And I was like, ew, I spent like $40, damn near $50 on this thing just for it to leak. Like, it's so annoying. And then also, I end up finding out that it uses lead, which if you go onto Hydro Flask's website, they no longer use lead to seal the bottom of the cup. And that's where Stanley Cup's lead is. And Stanley uses lead because it is a cheaper option than to use non-lead. And if you look at it on the market, Stanley is way more expensive than Hydro Flask. And Hydro Flask is still an expensive bottle. But that's something that I was influenced to buy that I regret.
Something I definitely think I could never be influenced by is something I see an embarrassingly high amount on my TikTok page.
What is it?
The crisscross chair.
Oh, the big one.
Oh my God, get this freaking chair off my For You page.
swear.
I work at a standing desk. The fact that we sit for a podcast is really stupid to me because I think we would look a lot better standing up.
Anyways, moving on.
But no, that chair, for one, it's going to get covered in cat hair. What if it rains? It's going to get moldy. There's no cleaning it. And it's going to take up a whole hunk of...
Rains. Why is it outside?
It's not outside, but we live in homes that are not reliable anymore. It floods much too often. My home floods.
Oh, speak for yourself then.
I am speaking for myself.
You're the only one who has a cat. So everything you're arguing for why you wouldn't buy it is specifically for yourself.
I am a general member of the internet, and we have cats, okay? Everyone has cats. The internet's actually run by cats, but we're straying away from the point. That's another podcast.
Okay.
Don't you worry. I'll talk about how cats are running the internet.
Should have done that when you had the podcast to yourself.
But all jokes aside about the crisscross chair, there's one thing that actually kind of pisses me off. I've been seeing a cup around. I've been seeing this cup. I'm going to put this is the cup I've been seeing. Does this look familiar to anyone else? This is a cup where cereal and milk do not meet. You can drink your cereal.
Yeah.
You can drink your milk. You can eat your cereal and it won't get soggy. It's for like on the go for when you want to have cereal on your way to work.
Yeah.
My problem with this cup is that it's just a fleshlight. This is just a fleshlight. This body right here, this body right here is a literal fleshlight. The inside of it, that is a tubing for a fleshlight, for a male pleasure center. The only thing that they have done for this cup is they removed the silicone insiding, the innards of it, and they swapped out the top so that way it's easier to suck out of than insert into. This is wild that someone's actually getting you to buy a fleshlight to drink your cereal out of on your car ride to work.
Luke, why do you sound like a politician? Very passionate about this, huh?
Because this is wild. This would not fly back in my America.
Oh my gosh. So that's something you're not influenced
No,
by.
if anything, I'm a little terrified for the state of our country because this, I'm going to post it again right here. This is an example of Russia trying to infect the minds of our youth.
Ew.
You're drinking out of a fleshlight.
Why do you sound like every old politician?
You're drinking out of a fleshlight. This is why they're banning TikTok, because they're making us drink out of a fleshlight.
Ew.
And another thing.
What?
I'm a very open gay man.
Okay.
Why is TikTok putting me on furry TikTok like it wants me to buy a freaking fursuit?
I don't know.
I'm honestly horrified because these mascots actually scared me a lot growing up.
Yeah.
So all these things coming together, we've got fursuits, we have obvious, I'm going to put a picture of it right here, fleshlight cereal cups, and giant chairs. These three things, I think they're trying to converge on one topic, and I think it's really disturbing.
I think you need help because your algorithm is very concerning.
It is. Can I clear my cookies or something? Will that fix it?
I think so.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
gosh.
I think you should do that because I'm concerned for what your algorithm
I
looks
just
like.
I actually just put it all together, big chair, fursuits, and strange fleshlight cup. Yeah, no, that is, they're going to give me a ring light next.
Hey, why not?
Makes the money.
So there's three things that I do not regret buying. The first thing that I don't regret buying that I was influenced to buy is my Canon G7X camera. During my time of wanting to start YouTube, I would look at what other YouTubers are using and they'll either post in their description box of what camera they're using, or I literally was actively looking at what camera other YouTubers were using, and it was the Canon G7X. Now, mind you, this is an expensive camera. I mean, it's not the most expensive camera on the market, but it is about a $600, $700 camera. And I wouldn't say I was influenced because it wasn't just organically popping up, but it was just something that I was searching. What camera do they use? And this one was the one that really like sat well with me. So I bought it. I bit the bullet and I spent $500 on this camera, and I don't regret it. I've had it for like 5 years now and I love it. The pictures turn out amazing. The video quality is great. I mean, now it's slowly starting to show its age in that if I want it to focus on something, like if I go from one shot to the next shot, the focus isn't as quick as I'd like it to be. So it might just be aging out, but the Canon G7X is an amazing camera. It's the Canon G7X Mark II for anybody that wants good video quality, wants good photos. It's an amazing camera. The second thing that I was influenced was one of my YouTubers. She uses a back foam roller and she like lays on it and like stretches out her back on it, and it's a $25 purchase, which like is pretty hefty for a piece of foam, but I bought it and honestly it's so great. The way it like aligns your spine is just so amazing, and that's the one thing I was like, oh okay, and quote unquote influencer did good. The last thing that I was influenced to buy that I don't regret is the Mael hair oil, and that hair oil blew up on TikTok for a little bit. YouTubers were using it, and everyone was just like swearing by it, how good it is for like your hair growth and your hair health. And guys, I've been using it, the hair oil in conjunction with the shampoo and conditioner. And mind you, I bought this in Black Friday, which was in November. It is currently like May, and I still have all three products, and they're amazing. I think my hair has felt the best it's ever has. It's the healthiest it's ever looked. So those are the three things that I was influenced to buy that I don't regret.
I only have one thing I think I've ever bought that I haven't regret from an impulse Amazon purchase.
What is it?
There are times at night where I scroll through Facebook on the videos.
Yeah.
And I come across a part of Facebook that I love, and it's like people making sealed terrariums.
Oh, interesting.
No, I don't have one. I would love one, but I don't know if I could keep it alive, and I don't know if I want a big glass jar full of little bugs. I don't know if that's my thing. But the more I watched it, the more I started to get ads for hydroponics growing systems.
Oh, okay.
So when I lived in Chicago and I lived in my studio downtown on the 31st floor, I didn't have a lawn or a lot of sunlight because I had one window facing west. So, nighttime. I got one of these little hydroponic growing systems. I think it was a QYO. It had 12 little slots, and I grew jalapenos. And for months, I watched those little jalapenos grow.
Yeah.
I felt like a proud father.
Yeah.
And I actually, I didn't eat all of them. A lot of them went to waste. Never plant 12 jalapeno plants because you're just going to end up with a giant plate of, worthless salsa. But when I moved back over to my dad's, it kind of, it stuck with me a little bit. When the winter came, I needed a little something to do. I needed a little motivation. So I purchased another one, and I didn't touch it for months. I didn't. But one day I decided I was going to go to the dollar store, and I picked up some flower seeds, and I set the whole thing up in my bathroom, and I planted zinnia flowers, which I'll post a picture like right here because some of them look like little cute little pink discs. And it's growing really well right now that I actually bought a second one.
Yeah.
And I put it right next to my other one in my bathroom. And those are like communicating with each other. So it feels good. I get to bring a little bit of growth into my home, some life and some produce. I'm growing cucumbers and bell peppers right now.
Oh, nice.
And I would never even have thought to done this had that little ad not crawled across my screen.
Yeah.
And now I'm an indoor farmer.
There you go.
I feel good about it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad. See, some things are like good. Yeah. My other thing that I was influenced by that I completely forgot about was my packing cubes. Like on my most recent trip, I kept seeing like YouTubers and TikTokers utilizing packing cubes, and my cousin uses packing cubes. And I was like, wait, this makes your life so much easier to pack if you just have them in cubes, like everything's sectioned out. Like in this packing cube will go my pajamas. The next one was all my dresses, and the next one was my pants and my shirts. And then the next one was like, like my socks and stuff. And so that made it so much easier. Instead of just having everything thrown together in my suitcase, I was able to pick out the specific bag and leave everything else untouched. And so that was something that I was influenced by, that I was like, oh wait, this is actually so great. But what's one thing that's been popping up on my algorithm a lot?
What is it? Hit me. Do we have the same algorithm yet?
It's the Bloom nutrition thing.
Oh my God, get the Bloom nutrition thing off of my feed. I'm not following your program. You're a scam.
No, literally, like Bloom, if you guys haven't seen it, we'll attach it right here. Bloom is like this healthy green thingy that you put in your drinks and whatever, and they're trying to influence you to like buy it and like get all your nutrients just with this drink. And it's like, no, eat your freaking food. Eat your damn
Just
food.
do what you're supposed to do. Just do what our ancestors did, okay? Like, eat vegetables.
Stop trying to find shortcuts, bro.
Yeah, no, this is life.
This is it.
It's nice to know that we're not as easily influenced, I think, as we think we are, because and I really don't spend too much time trying to buy something. And when we do, it doesn't always work out. But I'm glad I get to be my little indoor farmer.
Me too. Yeah, I'm really surprised we're not as, influenced to buy certain products as I thought we were. I think mainly because I feel like these people are so out of touch. Like they're just pushing on a product for you so you could buy it. And they're like, I wouldn't promote this if I didn't actually love it. But it's like you're promoting something every week. So do you actually love it? Like, can you actually not live without it?
And whose idea is it to drink out of a recycled Fleshlight?
And then all of these makeup products, like it's way too much. Like the Sephora sale, these products I cannot live without. And it's like, can you really not live without them? Because guys, my skincare routine is 3 products. And if I ever make it to the point where like I'm getting paid by companies, I can tell you that I will not have a 10-step skincare routine unless I'm like pushing 40 and like I need it. But as of right now, my skincare routine is literally my Middle Eastern olive oil soap, my micellar water, and my Olay lotion. It's the only thing you need.
Well, thank you. We'll cover the skincare topic in another podcast along with why cats rule the internet.
Dude, yeah, I swear, like the skincare. Oh my God, we got to talk about that on another episode. Alrighty, guys. Thank you all so much for watching and listening today. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. And
Hi, Mom. By the way.
don't forget to give us a 5-star rating, like this video, subscribe to our channel anywhere you listen to us, and don't forget to tell your friends about our podcast. If you enjoy listening to us, share it with your friends so you guys can talk about it together.
Yeah, let us take over your entire network.
No, literally. And don't forget to follow us at Nin's Vlogs on YouTube. And
I'm Luke on TikTok.
And we will see you guys here next Wednesday for a new episode.
All right, everyone. Join us next time as Nin influences Miranda Lambert to be the new member of The View.
That's a good one. I don't mind her. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.